He found it on a Tuesday morning, wedged between two rocks at the base of the lighthouse. A glass bottle, sealed with dark wax. Inside it, a letter. His name was Elias. He had been the keeper of the lighthouse for 19 years, and in that time, the sea had brought him many things: broken wood, fishing nets, once a boot with no match. But never a letter. He carried it inside. He sat at his table by the window. He broke the seal carefully, the way a person opens something they know does not belong to them, but cannot help themselves. The letter was written in careful, unhurried handwriting. It began, "If you are reading this, you are not who I wrote it for. But perhaps you are who needed it." Elias set the letter down. He looked out at the sea for a long time. Then he picked it up and kept reading. The letter was from a woman to her brother. She had written it 11 years ago, she said, during the worst year of her life, a year in which she had felt invisible, unheard, certain that nobody in the world would notice if she simply stopped trying. She had written everything she could not say out loud. She had sealed it and thrown it into the ocean not because she expected anyone to read it, but because she needed to send the weight of it somewhere outside herself. She wrote, "I do not know who the sea will give this to, but I want that person to know it gets better. Not immediately, not without difficulty, but it gets better. And the days when you feel most alone are not the truest days. They are just the loudest ones." Elias read the letter 3 times.
He was a quiet man.
He had chosen the lighthouse because he preferred the company of water and light to the company of people. He had told himself for years that this was simply his nature, that some people were made for solitude the way others were made for crowds. But reading the letter, he felt something shift in him. Not dramatically, not like a wave breaking, more like a door opening somewhere in a house he thought had no more rooms. He thought about his sister, whom he had not called in 8 months. He thought about his neighbor on the mainland, an old man who had waved at him twice last summer and whom Elias had not waved back at, not out of rudeness, but out of the habit of absence. He thought about all the small gestures he had not made, not because he did not feel them, but because somewhere along the years he had stopped believing they were worth the effort of crossing the distance. That evening, Elias wrote 2 letters. One to his sister. One to the old neighbor, shorter, simpler, just a note saying he had seen him wave, and he was sorry he had not waved back, and he hoped he was well. He posted both the next morning on the mainland. His sister wrote back within a week. The old neighbor appeared at the dock 3 days later with a jar of homemade jam and said, "I thought you did not like people." Elias said, "I think I had forgotten how." The old man nodded. He handed over the jam. He said, "It comes back." The moral of this story is not about bottles or oceans or lucky discoveries. It is about something much simpler. The things other people write in their darkest hours, for no audience, expecting nothing, those are often the truest things ever said. And sometimes the truth arrives for someone other than the person it was written for. Because truth does not belong to one person. It belongs to whoever needs it most at the moment it arrives. And sometimes the act of receiving a truth, really receiving it, letting it move something in you, is enough to change the direction of a life. Not a dramatic change. A quiet one. A door opening in a house you thought had no more rooms. Elias kept the letter. He framed it. It hung on the wall of the lighthouse for the rest of his years there. He never found out who wrote it, but he thought about her every time the light made its slow turn in the dark, the woman who had sent her worst year out to sea and accidentally given someone his best one. If this story moves something in you, that feeling is real. Hold on to it. Tell us in the comments, what is one door that opened in your life when you least expected it? Write it in English. Just one sentence. We read every single one. And subscribe because the next story is already written. It is the story of a young teacher who gave the wrong lesson on the wrong day and changed a student's life by accident. That one is coming soon. Like this video.
Subscribe.
And keep listening. SERA English.
Keep going.